Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me. It's turning out to be a rather fun evening. So let me start. And each of you are in different fields, different industries. So I'm very interested to know what's happening in these industries, right? So Prasanna, let me start with you. There is so much happening in the auto industry. Let me just get a sense of which way things are going, and then I'll open the floor to the rest of the panelists as well.
Yeah, first of all, very good evening to all the distinguished dignitaries who are present here, and thank you very much for the Embassy REIT for having us. Been very closely associated with Embassy now for almost 25 years, and we have grown with Embassy, and we've been very proud to achieve what we have achieved, and thank you very much for that, yeah, first of all. Yeah. Now coming to the question, Sonia, what's happening in automotive industry? I think the massive transformation right now happening in automotive industry, because the major markets, if you see especially Europe, Americas, and then Asia, all three markets more or less committed for different timelines for the decarbonization. Some of them 2039, some of them 2035, some of them 2030 plus. And major OEMs made their strategies that battery is going to be the future, and massive investments have gone in this direction, invested in raw materials, invested in factories, and invested in technologies. And the battery transformation, what the whole world expected to happen, actually did not happen. Yeah, so that's where we are right now. And most of the OEMs basically are at a point where they have to basically design and develop both technologies, which is basically catering for the existing combustion engine and hybrid technologies, and also for the battery technologies, because the transformation is happening, but not at the pace what we have expected. So we are now actually doing twice as much as we could have done otherwise only once.
Okay.
That's what is happening right now in the automotive industry.
Doesn't look like such a great place to be, does it?
Yeah.
Sanket, you want to comment on that? What is, from your vantage point, what is the situation as far as AI is concerned globally, right? Because Salesforce is doing a lot globally, especially in countries like, say, Singapore, there was a recent investment. Tell us, what is the landscape looking like? And from a business development standpoint, what are the 2 or 3 things that you notice?
So first of all, we were talking when we were at the table, going after Nandan is not a good thing. How do you? A lot is going on, and as Nandan pointed out, as far as adoption of AI in the enterprise world is concerned, it's still in the nascent stages. So Jeetuji mentioned in his talk that he wanted to hear about Gen AI. Gen AI is now yet another tool that's being used in the overall AI landscape. And for us in Salesforce, we've been in the AI business actually for more than a decade. And before it became very popular to say we're in AI, we used to do predictive AI. And our goal was to provide AI in a manner which is in the right context for our business users. Because creating a technology for which you have to become an expert in that technology does not really democratize it. So we wanted to be able to do that. And today we have predictive AI, we have generative AI as well, and we're doing more than a trillion predictions and generations every week. Wow. And now with the advent of the agentic era, we are stepping into areas where, again, as Nandan pointed out, every enterprise, every customer of ours has various areas of data which exist in the enterprise. They're all existing in various islands or silos. How do you bring them together? Because fundamentally, one of the first things you learn when you study computer science is this concept of garbage in, garbage out. Yeah. And likewise, your AI is only as good as your data. So within an enterprise, if you want to actually have an AI strategy, you have to understand and be able to leverage your data. And that's the big thing going on worldwide, is that most companies are trying to assess where their data lies, so can they have a solid foundation to step into the whole agentic era.
So where do you think India is in that race? we were talking about how the IT Minister Ashwini Vaishnav is doing a lot in terms of whether it's 14,000 GPUs being put on board, whether it's data sets, which is a big focus area for India right now. Where do you see India in the global race?
It's very hard to assess because globally everybody's just stepping into this, right? But the Indian companies are actually doing amazing leapfrogging in technology, and India as a whole is as well. If you take a look at UPI, for example, we're doing remarkable work. So I'll give you an example from the startup industry. There's a program I started called the Salesforce Startup Community, and so we have around 350 plus startups. A third of them are AI companies. And globally, all the software startups that are coming up, overwhelming majority of them are leveraging AI to develop their software. So you no longer have to be a software development genius to be able to create a software company. You need to understand the use cases, you need to understand business. AI will do a lot of it for you, and that's going to be the future reality.
Okay, that's interesting. Amit, comment on that. How is Swiss Re leveraging AI in different areas, right, of the industry, whether it is service, whether it's product development, whether it's improving efficiencies? Can you take us through that?
Yeah, so thanks for that. So when we talk about insurance or reinsurance, firstly, it has been a traditional industry for long, which also means that it's the right time for disruption or acceleration when it comes to digital and technology. And we are in a business model where we sell a solution for which we don't know the cost, because only after a year or 10 years we'll get to know how much was the actual loss cost for us, right? So we've been doing modeling for 160 years plus, right? And since there's no hardware involved, there's actually quite a lot of opportunities how you can actually deploy AI. So for us, and I'm not just talking about reinsurance, but insurance as a whole, we need to look at AI or any other technology from what problem statements we would like to solve, right? And if I talk about insurance industry, broadly, there are three major problems. Problem number one, majority of the people don't understand the risk profile of themselves, right? What kind of risk they are facing or they are expected to face. And even if they know how they're going to manage the risk, and to manage the risk, what are the products, solution, offerings are there? So it's kind of a awareness gap which is there. The second challenge is there are two interfaces between insurance companies and the consumer. Usually it's at the time of selling a policy, or in case a claim needs to be incurred, only then. So how can you actually simplify that? Because there's a lot of resistance, yeah, from a consumer standpoint. Because what really happens is that, firstly, no one really wakes up in the morning and says, I want to buy insurance product, right? And even if they have to buy, they get overwhelmed with those contract conditions, inclusion, exclusion, becomes very difficult. And when the claim settlement time comes, we all have experience. It takes hours and hours or even weeks, yeah, sometimes to get the... So how can you actually simplify those problems? The third challenge is related to challenge number two. Since I said if you buy a year policy, you are interacting with the insurance company either at the time of purchase or if claim comes. But throughout the year, there is absolutely no engagement between consumer and insurance company. So how can you actually create models, engagement models, where you kind of do a better risk profiling, you can do more preventive checks, you can actually create more experience and value creation for consumer. So I just wanted to outline that these are the fundamental challenges, and then comes AI or any other technology, how you're going to resolve that.
But there is a lot of work being done, for example, in customer service, right? Now
Yes.
in the insurance industry. My own personal experience is that customer service, not just in insurance, across fintech, across banking, it's become huge. There's very easy access, whether it is also on social platforms like WhatsApp or even the interface, online interface has improved a lot. So from the insurance industry standpoint, in terms of customer service, efficiencies, what all is being done?
Yeah. So firstly, I think it augments all the agents and the brokers, right? Because not every agent is equipped to explain all kind of products, offerings. And now with the AI, you can actually just type in a question, you get the answer. So so it's kind of a Iron Man suite, right? So you have a human in the center, and then you have an AI suite, which actually helps you augment your knowledge base, and you can actually explain it to consumers in a much better, effective manner. From a distribution perspective, if I really look at opportunities ahead, you also don't need agents. Yeah, you can also have a AI-assisted buying, which can happen. That could be a game changer, because then I mean, most of us would like to, resolve most of the topics by ourselves if we are guided properly. And if AI agents can actually help you there, nothing like it. And then from, I would say, product standpoint, right now what you see in the landscape is very standard insurance products and offerings, right? You can compare those. But what if I want a bespoke product or a solution which is not existing? Now, AI has an opportunity which can actually customize those solutions. So for example, if I'm going for a trekking trip, right, and I have a SLR camera, and I want to ensure that SLR camera only for those 72 hours. Now, with AI and all the contextual data, there is a possibility. Whether it's happening or not, that's a secondary question, but the possibility exists to do that. So for me, then, as an individual, I can actually create those bespoke solutions with the understanding of AI agents. And even if I go traditional agents, they are amplified with extra knowledge coming through the AI.
Okay, that's interesting, actually. Many use cases in the insurance industry. I'm going to come to risks in a bit, but I wanted your thoughts on the auto sector, because it's a very interesting time in the auto sector. EVs, which was expected to be a mega theme, has somehow not taken off both in India and globally as well. There is a bit of a slowdown we're seeing. So, where are we at right now, and what are the use cases for AI that you see in the automobile industry over the next couple of years?
So, first of all, I mean, we are a luxury brand, and we create world's most desirable products, right? So, in our space, AI is right now at a very nascent stage, as Nandan also pointed out. But having said that, there's a lot going on in the automotive space, right from product development to manufacturing, sales, after sales. I mean, throughout the entire value chain of an automobile, one or the other area is getting disrupted through one or the other technology. Now, I'll come one by one. When I talk about product development, generative AI, which is actually completely, I would say, transforming the space, the way how we are creating new products. Traditionally, we used to take about 5 to 6 years to create a new product. Right now, with the possibility of Gen AI and with the possibility of all the new technologies which are available, we are talking about creating a new product somewhere anywhere between 2 to 3 years. There are already live examples available.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's on the product creation side. On the manufacturing side, the entire manufacturing ecosystem is basically getting transformed into digital twins, where you are able to see digitally the entire production factory, the paint shops, assembly shops, press shops. Every area of manufacturing process is going to get digitized, and then we are going to basically also crush those timelines to get these products faster into the market.
But that's a good thing, right?
That's a very good thing.
Okay.
Yeah. But still, I would say yet to be realized. Yeah, there's a lot happening in this space. Product development is much ahead in terms of, I mean, the offering, what we are trying to offer is actually to give the customers the digital experience what they have outside the car. We are trying to offer them inside the car seamlessly without any disruption. That means whether it is be it your digital smartphone experience or be it an entertainment experience.
But that already exists, right?
Not to the tune of what the smartphone offers right now outside the car. Yeah. So our quest is to offer all those technologies seamlessly in the car, and the areas which are getting right now focused is mainly connectivity, and which is basically directly pointing to infotainment. And then the second most important area which is getting transformed is autonomous driving. Yeah, driverless, so it's still not happening. So it's a lot to do. Right now we are talking about level 1 and level 2, but the goal is to get to level 5, which is fully autonomous, driverless, completely, yeah, giving the full driving time back to the driver to do some quality things, what he or she would like to do in the car.
What is the driver? By the way, what are we looking at in terms of timelines in India? When do you think driverless cars would make their presence felt?
I mean, let me complete the third one and then I'll come to that, right? So the third most important trend we are following is electrification. That's the battery technologies, right? So we are trying to see with the help of AI, we can dynamically predict the state of the charge and then trying to give the maximum charge possible in a drive. And then depending on the dynamic road conditions, depending on the dynamic climate conditions, we are trying to give this information who is driving an electric car so that he is not going through a range anxiety and he's going to have a pleasant drive in the car. So these are some of the areas where we are actually using these state-of-the-art technologies to define the future of the mobility. Yeah. Now coming to the autonomous driving, if you see already the cars which we have and also the most of OEMs, they are already level 2 certified. When I say level 2, level 1 being the least and level 5 being the highest in the autonomous scale, almost all cars are level 2 certified, which is basically the driver assistance functions, like whether it is cruise control or distronic, autopilot, lane change assist, and blind spot detection. I mean, you name it. There are so many features today already available in the car, which is actually making the life of driver very, very easy to drive. And the goal is to get to fully autonomous, level 5. That means if you want to drive from Bangalore to Mysore, which is about 120 kilometers, about an hour's drive, 1 hour's drive. So the full 1 hour is given back to the driver or to the co-driver so that they can do other things other than driving. So that's the goal. We are going to work.
By when?
I mean, there is already a lot which is available in the car. And what we feel is that infrastructure is what is actually lacking.
Okay.
The car itself is already ready with the technology. And we are soon going to announce level 2 plus in next couple of months in China. And level 3 is already almost, work is ready and already going to come in some of our future models.
Wow.
Yeah, and then next level 4 and level 5 is just matter of time.
Okay, I don't know about you, but I still get a lot of anxiety thinking about there being no driver and the car moving on its own. But I guess, well, that's what we've come to. But that brings me to my next question, and Sanket, I want you to come in on that. What happens to jobs, right? I mean, if in every industry, manufacturing, production, design, customer service is all going to be digitized or autonomous, what have you. What happens to jobs? I'm not talking about it as a challenge. I'm talking about it as an opportunity. I mean, what do people do to upskill or reskill themselves?
Yeah, so, whenever new technology has been introduced ever, when the calculator came, people were worried that all accountants will lose their jobs. So likewise here, with the advent of AI and now the agentic era, there's tremendous fear. And yes, there would probably be some job losses, but at the same time, like you said, is an opportunity. Opportunity in multiple ways. One is that most companies would like to grow, and with growth comes a lot more customers. And with a lot more customers, like you were mentioning, comes the need to service a lot more customers. But how do you scale? And typically, scale, especially at population rate, right? Scaling is incredibly expensive with people. So with digital labor and by using agents, you can actually scale infinitely and be able to serve your customers really, really well. So that's one of the big advantages of AI and the advent of agents that most companies will be leveraging. Now, the other part is that this also gives an opportunity for people to perhaps upskill themselves. In our own company, what we are doing is we have education days dedicated to Agent Force, which is our fully connected platform. We're teaching all the engineers on how to develop on top of this. It's actually quite straightforward. And likewise, in the industry, we have trained upwards of 130,000 people on how to create agents. And Salesforce's goal is to, again, make the technology be very available to people. So we had our annual conference, Dreamforce, in October, and there we had sessions like this where people came and got educated on how to create an agent. Within half an hour or an hour, they were able to create a simple agent. That's the degree that we are talking about. And our platform enables you to do that. So like earlier I had mentioned to you, the need to aggregate data. So we have a product that allows you to do that. On top of that, we have our applications, which actually leverages common data and are able to provide you services like your CRM, your the service desk, marketing, etc. And on top of that, we have the agentic layer where we have agent for each and every application. So you actually scale and provide personalized experience to your customers. So by being able to leverage that, the companies can actually scale much, much better. The customers are happy, and it gives an opportunity for employees to learn a whole new skill.
100%, 100%. That's very interesting. And in fact, I was speaking to someone else on another panel the other day on AI, and he said that, this could actually be a huge opportunity because of we're trying to get AI at scale in our population, right? So we don't have enough, say, teachers, we don't have enough doctors, the medical fraternity is struggling to service. So in these fields, AI could help in terms of, scaling up. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. So I believe AI is a great leveler, right? Because if someone is coming just out of the college, right, and if we are talking about a junior programmer, usually there's a career progression path, like over 10 years, this programmer will become an expert of X level, etc. And there's a constant coaching which is required from a senior programmer and the person is attached, but there's always a scarcity, right? You have only limited senior experienced engineers who are coaching multiple people. Now you can think of AI as a coach, yeah, who actually works with a junior programmer with 0 years of experience, and that I'm sure 10-year learning curve would accelerate to maybe 2 years or even less, right? Because that's how the people will actually develop. So I actually always look at things in a positive lens. So I believe there are plenty of opportunities, and the role of the individual will become to also supervise the AI agents. Yeah, because I don't think this human in loop will not be taken out completely, because AI will always give the recommendations. Yeah, and of course there will be task-focused AI agents, etc. But not like which is actually making binding the organizations in large-scale contracts or decisions, because we also have to be responsible from an AI perspective. If a decision making is happening, you need to define who is actually taking a decision. AI assisted decision is still an accountability of a human being. If it's an AI task which is getting completed, you need to then supervise from a quality perspective, and you can also deploy AI agents for that. But I think there are quite a few complex parameters involved here, but I still believe it will create new set of opportunities for people. No one likes to do boring tasks of just putting the data, arranging it, and then analyzing it. People would like to do more of the analysis, and if AI agents can actually help in your initial mundane work, nothing like it.
Absolutely.
I can
Go
just
ahead, go
add
ahead.
one thing, Sonia, if I may. An example of agents and humans working together would be something that we do. We have deployed agents to do the initial contact with prospects, our potential customers, and it's done in a very personalized manner, leveraging all the data that we have. And then when an actual human goes to interact with these potential customers, they get trained by agents on the specifics of that customer and how to approach them, what language to use, etc. So it becomes a very personalized experience for the potential customer as well. And then when it comes time to produce a quote, we have agents that do it much more efficiently than before. So this is a great example of AI helping the entire flow of a sale, and in the process, helping humans as well.
Absolutely. There are many tasks that AI can and should do so that it frees up time for humans. And I do notice that across sectors, as I was telling you guys earlier, that there are chatbots now in different spaces, whether it's fintech, banking, which makes your life so much easier, and now you just can't do without it. Some final parting thoughts then. You wanted to make a point on this as well?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that, even some of the AI use cases we have also in some of the luxury automobiles is also, to have voice assisted, commands in the car while you are driving, like drive me to point A to point B without touching any device. It gives you the most optimal route. Or you want to have a particular radio station to be played with a voice command, or you want to have a massage function to be activated while driving. I mean, there's so many use cases, which we are already having in some of our cars, which is basically again all backed up by some of the AI technology behind.
I would love to have that massage in my car. So perhaps coming up soon. But okay, some final thoughts then. Nandan was here a while back, and we ended the discussion. He ended the discussion saying that India is on its way to become the AI use case hub of the world, right? Where do you guys see the big investments coming through? Let me start with you. In terms of where the big money is going to go in AI.
I mean, from an auto OEM point of view, I mean, we have right now about 138 years of history of making an automobile. And if we now follow what just Nandan said, that, we want to create our own models. Yeah, this 138 years of data plus some of the benchmarking data which is available. And if you want to put together all this data, and then try to crunch it and make a model out of it, the biggest investments which would go is towards the compute power. Yeah, right now, as I speak about the computing power, I mean, in India, we are the largest compute power hub in India. And we are right now using either CPUs or GPUs for crunching those equations or models, whatever you want to call them. To process and then come up with the solutions. That's number one. And the second biggest problem statement which is there in front of us is also to speed up these development timelines and try to be as fast as you can to the market. And gone are those days where you are having all the luxury of developing a car 6 years, 7 years, and right now, the whole competition is moving towards crunching these timelines by 50%.
Do you think all of this is going to lead to, in every sector, a winner-takes-all kind of situation? Because it's going to increase competition also a lot, right? If timelines are crunched, if...
The competition is already there today, if you see. I mean, even some of the Indian OEMs have also demonstrated launching some of the new products by developing them in 2 years timeline, right? So, but as I said, there's a huge amount of work which is in front of us. We have to keep both the technologies, the battery as well as the combustion technology, and we might run it for at least another decade. And hopefully the BEF adoption happens then faster than what is right now. And for that we need basically more capacities to do the parallel development of both the products, right? So that's what is also keeping us busy right now.
Okay.
And yeah, and as we move to another, let's say 5 or 10 years, and if the BEF adoption is faster, then we will have a different set of challenges to solve than what we have today.
Okay. Sanket, final thoughts from your end?
Yeah, before I share my thoughts, I hope Prasanna's team develops the self-driving stuff really fast, because with the massage and the entertainment, etc., we're going to need it.
You're going to see Prasanna very soon in a driverless car, getting a nice massage done on the roads, going from Bangalore to Mysore.
I actually did it already on a test track.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and the point is that since we are a Mercedes, we don't want to be putting any product on the road, not really being 100% sure that it works. So safety is top priority. Safety of the passenger is the top priority for us.
I love your job, I must say.
So, in my opinion, we have a huge developer community. And I think one of the things missing is support for Indic languages. I have a good friend who has a startup called Sarvam, and he's addressing a lot of these things. So I think that's going to be the next big wave. And today, the way you see people using UPI, people will be using various aspects of AI in their mother tongue without needing to perhaps even know how to read and write. I think that's going to be the next big wave that comes.
The language barrier will be removed, as Nandan was also pointing out. Okay, Amit, final thoughts from your end?
Yeah, so from an insurance industry perspective, for us, it's important to streamline the claims process, yeah, so that actually people get the payout in time. So how can we use digital technology, AI, just through photographs, videos, we can trigger the claims at the earliest. I'm sure there'll be plenty of use cases there. And then there are also a lot of internal efficiencies, right? So how can we actually improve our risk insights so that we can trigger affordable pricing for consumers? And then a lot of manual processes can be automated, digitized. So those are practical cases that we see. And whatever innovation Mercedes brings, yeah, we'll attach insurance products to that. So those are different kind of business opportunities that we have.
Okay, gentlemen, we've run out of time, but thank you so much for being here and, at least helping us try and understand and trying to decode what's happening in the world of AI. A big round of applause to all three of them.
Thank you. Thank you very much.